The massive dreadnought celestial throne drifted through the void between star systems, its hull scarred from countless battles across the Andorian Empire's 300-year expansion. Within its gleaming corridors, Empress Elsa commanded a OID fleet of 10,000 vessels from her floating throne, a necessity born not of ceremony but of tragedy. 13 years had passed since the assassination attempt that left her lower spine severed by a Rakthani plasma blade. The Empire's finest physicians, masters of biotechnology that could regrow limbs and organs, had declared her condition irreversible. The neural pathways were too damaged, the alien toxin from the weapon too invasive. The Empress of 1,000 worlds would never walk again. Helen Martinez wiped grease from her hands as she stepped aboard the flagship for the first time. The human mechanic had earned her position through pure skill, having revolutionized engine efficiency on 3 different vessels in the Outer Rim. Her reputation for solving impossible problems had finally reached the Imperial Court. "You will address Her Imperial Majesty only when spoken to," the Zephyrian protocol officer hissed through his translator. "Humans may be useful, but you will remember your place." Helen nodded absently, her attention already captured by the massive ship's architecture. Her trained eye caught inefficiencies everywhere: power conduits running unnecessary distances, gravity generators working at cross purposes, life support systems fighting each other. No wonder the ship's performance had degraded over the decades. The throne room stretched 300 meters, its ceiling lost in artificial clouds. Empress Elsa floated at the center on her anti-grav platform, a figure of ethereal beauty despite her condition. Her forearms moved gracefully as she reviewed tactical displays, her elongated Andronian features betraying no emotion as she conducted the business of empire. "The new human engineer," she announced without looking up. "Your reputation precedes you. We have work that requires unconventional solutions." "Your Majesty," Helen said, studying the floating throne with professional interest. "I've reviewed the ship's systems. There's significant room for improvement." "Indeed. Begin with the port engine array. The resonance frequency has been unstable. Actually, Your Majesty, I'd like to start with your chair." Silence fell across the vast chamber. The assembled courtiers, Zephyrians, Kalins, and other client species, exchanged shocked glances. The protocol officer's breathing apparatus whistled in alarm. Empress Elsa's 4 eyes focused on the human with dangerous intensity. "Explain yourself, mechanic." Helen approached without permission, her scanner already out and humming. "This anti-grav unit is ancient, probably first-generation Macraean tech. The power draw alone is enormous, but that's not the real problem." She circled the floating throne like a predator studying prey. "The field generators are creating micro-vibrations, constant, subtle, but persistent. It's affecting your nervous system. The Empire's best physicians have examined—" "With respect, Your Majesty, they're not engineers." Helen's scanner beeped insistently. "This throne isn't just keeping you afloat. It's actively interfering with neural healing. The electromagnetic field is preventing your damaged nerves from regenerating." The Empress's 4 hands stilled on the controls. Around the chamber, whispers began in a dozen languages. "You claim our technology is harming me?" "Not intentionally, but healing and floating don't mix well when the floating mechanism operates on the same frequencies as nerve transmission." Helen met the Empress's gaze steadily. "Turn it off for an hour. Just 1 hour. Let me show you what human engineering can do." The silence stretched impossibly long. Finally, Empress Elsa touched a control, and the throne settled to the deck with a barely audible hum. "1 hour, human. If you are wrong, I'm not wrong." Helen was already unpacking her toolkit, spreading components across the deck with practiced efficiency. "But I'll need to build something new. Human tech based on mechanical principles rather than energy fields." What followed was a masterclass in human ingenuity. While the assembled court watched in fascination, Helen constructed what appeared to be an impossibly complex mechanical exoskeleton. Servos, actuators, and micromotors formed a delicate web of support that would respond to the smallest movement. "The power requirements are minimal," she explained as she worked. No electromagnetic fields, no neural interference. Just good old-fashioned mechanical advantage amplified by precision engineering. As the hour neared its end, Helen made final adjustments to her creation. Your Majesty, if you would allow me to assist you into the apparatus. Empress Elsa had felt nothing below her waist for 13 years. As the mechanical suit sealed around her legs and torso, she expected the familiar numbness. Instead, she felt pressure, contact, sensation. The servos are reading micro-movements you don't even realize you're making, Helen explained. Your brain never stopped trying to walk, Your Majesty. It just needed the right tools to translate intention into action. The Empress rose, not floating but standing, her forearms trembling with more than effort. She took one step, then another. The mechanical suit moved with fluid grace, responding to thoughts she hadn't been able to act upon for over a decade. Impossible, breathed the protocol officer. No, said Empress Elsa, walking the length of her throne room for the first time in 13 years, her voice carrying across the vast space. Human. The news spread through the celestial throne within hours. The human mechanic hadn't just repaired a machine. She had restored an empress. More than that, she had demonstrated something the galaxy's greatest minds had overlooked. Sometimes the simplest solutions required the most complex thinking. Word traveled faster than light, across the Empire. On 1,000 worlds, beings who had dismissed humans as crude engineers began to reconsider. The species that built starships with hammers and determination, that solved problems through persistence rather than sophistication, had accomplished what the galaxy's most advanced civilizations could not. In her newly redesigned quarters, Helen worked late into the ship's night cycle, already planning improvements to the Empress's mobility system. Outside her window, stars wheeled past as the celestial throne continued its eternal patrol. She smiled as she worked, knowing that somewhere in the depths of space, other humans were probably solving other impossible problems with nothing but ingenuity, stubbornness, and the unshakable belief that every puzzle had a solution. You just had to be creative enough to find it. The galaxy was learning what humans had always known. When the universe says something can't be done, humans just ask, why not? And get to work.